I'm such a baby 'cause the Cowboys make me cry. Post Malone has come out with a new song. It's a Hootie and the Blowfish, but instead of the Dolphins make me cry now, it's the Cowboys make me cry. I only want to be with you. Hootie and the Blowfish minus the blow. Mike Fisher reporting from the Fishbowl, where, as you noticed, a lot of you critics have said, hey, why don't you put some plants, Fish, in your pots? Because we've done about a month of videos out here, and there's no plants in the pots. But now, thanks to your kind consideration and your gentle urgings, there are plants in the plants. Well, there's also pants. I got pants on too. There's plants in most of the pots, and I continue to work on that. Hey, how about a big trade? How about a big trade up in the NFL draft? This idea has been touched on in a couple of ways. I'm going to give you a new way. Give me Kyle Pitts, tight end, Florida. Here's how. Bleacher Report, by the way, was the first to come up with this specific concept. Let's kick it around, shall we? Dak Prescott contract, mostly about facts that have yet to be finalized. We're all working on that, especially the Cowboys and Todd France. But the fact thing doesn't preclude everybody from having opinions. Everybody's got opinions. Everybody in the football world has Dak Prescott contract opinions, including one that's all about using this April's NFL draft to find a replacement. Now, that one specifically comes from Mike Tannenbaum, the former NFL general manager. We'll discuss that in a coming video visit. Mike Tannenbaum was on 105 Through the Fan with G-Bag Nation the other day. Quote, they absolutely have to draft Dak's replacement, assuming there's not a long-term contract. Tannenbaum says, if they don't get a long-term deal done. So these things tie together. Tannenbaum's logic is, if they don't get a long-term deal done, Dak is out the door, therefore, hurry up and do something. Totally get it. There's also the idea, as it relates to a trade-up. So Dak walks out the door, there's no long-term deal. Dak walks out the door next year. Let's go draft a quarterback now at 10, or even probably trade up to draft a quarterback. And then Jim Mora, former coach, college coach and NFL coach, visiting with us here, says, man, that Sewell, that offensive lineman from Oregon, if he slips a little bit from 3, Cowboys should go up and get him. Now, I can't go up and get everybody, but the idea of a trade-up is viable. Here's the Bleacher Report concept as it relates to Kyle Pitts, who is, I would argue, the most uniquely talented. Sewell is talented, Trevor Lawrence is talented, but uniquely talented. Like the wide receivers, there's a bunch of good ones, which makes it not unique. The cornerbacks at 10, there's 3 good ones, which makes it not unique. Uniquely talented. It's Kyle Pitts, tight end, Florida. So what if Dak stays in place? You get a contract done with him, so there's no quarterback trade-up. What if Tyron Smith and a healthy offensive line stay intact, so you don't have to look at the Sewell trade-up, as intriguing as both those ideas are, and the Cowboys find a way to add the most uniquely talented player in the draft, in the tight end from Florida, Kyle Pitts. Here's Bleacher Report's ideas. What if the Cowboys send their first-round pick, number 10, overall, a 4th-round pick, Cowboys own in 2021, number 106, and tight end Dalton Schultz to Carolina in exchange for the number 8 pick, so the Cowboys will be moving up 2 slots, which the Cowboys would then use on Kyle Pitts. We got to deal with some realities here as it relates to Carolina, what we think we know about them, and then the things we don't know. So we'll put aside for the moment, for the sake of this discussion. And by the way, thank you for the discussion. 22,000 of us almost kicking it around here in Cowboy Nation. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. And thank you for many of you joining the premium community as well. Go to community, hit the button that says join. Let's go. Put aside for a moment the Carolina-related obstacles here, which are highlighted by the Panthers' stated desire to use their assets to get a quarterback. They want a quarterback. And they want him at 8, or they want him using 8. Matt Rule, friend of the show, probably likes Mac Jones, Alabama quarterback at 8. Matt Rule and the Panthers are absolutely serious about talking to Houston about Deshaun Watson. And of course, they'd have to use pick number 8 to get him. Got to put that aside here for the sake of this conversation, which is the concept, just a concept of the Cowboys loading up to become unstoppable on offense, right? Keep Dak, keep Tyron, add Pitts. It's an intriguing idea. Quote from the way Bleacher Report writes it. Even if Dak Prescott has to play another year with the franchise tag, which he very well might, the Dallas Cowboys would have one of the most high-powered offenses for at least one season with Dak, and I would add Tyron, and the addition of Florida's Kyle Pitts. Again, this concept nobody, and I mean no disrespect to Bleacher Report, obviously, because I'm citing their theories here. Do the Panthers like Dalton Schultz? I don't know. If Mac Jones is there, why would the Panthers trade? I don't think they would. Does this fit the trade value chart? Often called the Jimmy Johnson trade value chart. Psst, Jimmy didn't invent it. A Jerry Jones oil and gas partner who was a vice president of the Cowboys in the early 90s named Mike McCoy invented the trade value chart. He handed it to Jimmy. Jimmy took it, put his name on it, and the rest is Jimmy infamy. Jimfamy. Jimmy Johnson. I'm not saying he stole the credit. I'll just say he took the credit. It's not the Jimmy Johnson trade chart. There you go. You just learned something new. Exclusive. So, what do the Panthers think of not taking a quarterback at 8, getting out of there, settling on 10? Maybe Mac Jones goes before 8. It's possible. And then the Panthers say, okay, we'll bail out. Maybe Houston says, no, we're not doing Deshaun with you, so you're stuck. And then they give up 8 for 10. Theoretically, conceivable. But from the Cowboys' perspective, forget Schultz as a throw-in piece. I don't know. Cowboys sure wouldn't need him if they drafted Kyle Pitts. They'd have Kyle Pitts as their starting tight end. They'd have Blake Jarwin as the number 2 guy. That's pretty good, considering the fact that the Cowboys think Blake Jarwin is a good number 1 guy. What would the Cowboys' offense look like with Kyle Pitts? 6'6", 246. Talk to the scouts, and they say he's a combination of Travis Kelce and Shannon Sharp. Pretty good combination. Pitts is a unanimous All-American, John Mackey Award winner. He really might be the best tight end in the NFL for the next decade. And you can have him if you want to manipulate the draft. So a Cowboy trade up to rescue the quarterback situation? Maybe. Trade up to go get Sewell and get a guy that Coach Jim Mora tells us, listen, this is special. This is all pro. Sewell, the offensive tackle from Oregon. If he slips from the third spot, go get him. Or trade up to go get a gigantic difference maker in Kyle Pitts. What I like to say about scouting is, if I was an owner or a general manager and my scout came to me and said, I got a tight end or I got a whatever, he's going to make 6 Pro Bowls, then I say draft him. And in that regard, a Cowboys move up for Kyle Pitts is a productive and fun concept. It's raining in Frisco. Fish out.